Joseph.
Well, this is take 2 for this week.
Yeah. Yep.
No, it's true.
Let me make 17 locks
Of
the century, or locks of the century of the week.
Joe's going to guarantee Lamar Jackson gets hurt in the third quarter.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick 3 games and get them all right this week.
Yeah.
I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to get hurt, but the Chiefs are still going to win the game 22-17.
When I got into the car and I was listening to the game and I heard Chad Penning was in, I was like, and it sounded, the announcers made it sound like they were driving, like they had to drive to win. I was like, oh crap, what happened? Like Kansas City was kicking some butt.
Yeah, last time when we saw it in the car, which your car does a cool thing. It'll actually put the score up on the radio.
That's nice. I think
is
that's
that HD radio?
No, that's the series.
Oh, Siri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the NFL, they had it on there and it had like the scoreboard.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Because when we saw it, it was like 19-3 or something. And you're like, oh, okay, it's a blowout. Like they're just, it was close in the beginning, and now I came in and
it could have been a lot closer.
Came
had
down
the
to the
one
last
guy
play.
from Cleveland not fumble the ball at like the goal line and then went out of bounds and went out of the back of or on the side of the end zone and
oh shit.
And Kansas City got the ball back with 2 minutes, like just under 2 minutes left in the first half.
We watched the game last night, and we were all rooting for the rookie for the Ravens, hoping that he could do something. But
That guy was put into a
Baller
situation.
Yeah, no win situation, unfortunately for him.
But that was a pretty good game, and then the Green Bay game was pretty good.
I actually didn't think I didn't like that. I thought it was a very low. I thought it would be a higher scoring game.
That's what
Baltimore and
John had the over, and I think I would have probably if I was betting this weekend, I would have taken the over last night, thinking like the Rams and the Buffalo have also killed in the. I'm sure everybody got beat up on that one.
would that have been a
too
bad?
busy watching that DePaul men's basketball team get their second win of the season.
Who did they play?
They played Valparaiso.
Oh, just
Some garbage team that literally had their game canceled with Southern Illinois. So they I think what they were saying on the broadcast was something like they had either less than 48 or 24 hours notice on the basketball game. Like they literally called them like Friday or Thursday, late Thursday night or Friday morning, saying, "Hey, you guys want to play Saturday versus us?"
the Paul has had been like the least amount of games, like just based on because of all the COVID kind of. They've had so many games canceled. They were beginning with the COVID. Now other teams are getting.
They were out in. The boss was telling me that this is like on Wednesday they were supposed to play at Georgetown, and it's the third time where DePaul has traveled for a game and been in the city and literally been there to play the game, and the game's been canceled. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, they have only 5. I think this was their 6th game played. I think them and UConn have the least amount of games played in the Big East.
Jeez, we we can let everybody know that this is Sunday night. We did one Thursday night, but unfortunately the recording was just garbage, and we didn't want to leave you guys hanging for a week. So Thursday night we drank Great Lakes Brewing. We had, what was the whiskey?
We had Sam Adams.
No, we had Sam Adams.
Oh,
this is from
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. They're all starting to mix together. So you're right. We did have Sam Adams, and we did a great review.
Box.
Yes.
Game day box,
and we did a great review that you'll never hear.
Yep.
And then we did a Scotch, right?
Yeah, a single malt Scotch.
We do the Japanese thing, right?
Yeah,
Akashi or something.
Yeah, Akashi.
Which you'll see the picture, but you won't hear a review. Actually, we still have a
We
bunch
could,
of that.
yeah. I was going to say.
We have a bunch of that whiskey left, which is
very smoky.
Yes, very smoky.
Very smoky.
Not bad.
Sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
Not to say that there's not a whiskey out there that you're supposed to chug, but that is definitely meant to, you put it in your glass and you let it sit for, you're just sipping once every while, because that is a very strong, potent punch of smoke.
Yeah, for sure.
I meant to tell you guys to bring one of your cigars up for
Oh,
skiing.
yeah.
I got to work on Friday, and I'm like, crap, I forgot to tell him.
We had this beautiful Airbnb, and she was highly allergic. She gave us literally a Bible of rules.
Yeah,
and she was highly allergic to smoke. So.
Shit.
Oh, really?
Shit in this Airbnb was zip tied. Cabinets were zip tied.
Doors were locked.
There were just parts that were completely.
She wasn't. I'm assuming she didn't stay with you guys.
The family was not there.
No.
But it was an insanely nice place.
It was beautiful.
But it wasn't for. I mean, if I was that lady, I would never fucking Airbnb that. I get it for the money for sure, but I would never be.
It's a beautiful place.
Did we win the Powerball?
No.
Or
No,
not the Mega
best,
Millions?
the best.
We lost both.
Yeah,
You got Powerball tickets?
Yeah,
too?
I went 10 and 10. Joe said it best. And so we got to work on Monday.
Yeah.
But fucking Illinois is advertising it like you can win $1 billion. You just got to win both of them.
Yeah.
Win both and you're a billionaire. That's
Well, I got, what is it? I was on the treadmill in the afternoon, and I got a commercial for the Indiana State Lottery. Hey,
really?
Save your tickets for second chance winnings. Go to Indiana Hoosier State Lottery, and it's like, what in the hell are you broadcasting this?
Dude,
to
they
me
make it
for?
too easy now. You
I
can literally buy. You could spend so much money. It's scary.
Yeah, I ended up buying a Powerball ticket, I think 2 weeks ago. And with it came one like $3
Yeah,
one
me too. I got
ticket.
that too.
And I was like,
check those. Yeah.
I was like, oh, is this a normal? I don't buy lottery a lot. I'm buying it.
I don't buy enough lottery.
It's
I
like-
didn't know what it is either, Joe.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I literally when I got 2 tickets, I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. What did I do?
Yeah.
Like, huh? And then
It's so specific. Like I went up to the lady at the counter and I was like, kind of want to like win all that big money. So how do I like? Because I'm used to like the machines. You just go and click the $2.
oh, like the scratch ones or something. Yeah.
No, yeah, that machine where you get the scratch ones.
Mhm.
You can get the actual Powerball Mega Millions.
Oh, can you? Okay.
And but I didn't know like how to like explain that what I wanted. She's like, "Oh, you want the Powerball? Do you want it with the Mega Player? Not with the Mega Player?" I was like, "Lady,
just
give me
I don't
whatever.
understand
Just
what the hell that
just-
is at all.
Just let me know what I can do to win all the money, all the money, all. The
It
money.
says $650 million up there. I want that in my pocket. How do I win it?
I was telling Peter, I was like, I feel like nobody from a major city ever wins. It's always some like
No, that's
podunk town in the middle of nowhere.
that's where or like the tickets sold in some like Hodunk town. That's what
Yeah,
I tell
yeah.
Peter. I'm like, you're on like
Yeah, Joe I literally said that to yeah, Chris says that all the time, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you kind of notice. You never hear like somebody from like Los Angeles winning, or New York City winning.
no, you got to go to like one of those Hodunk. That's why I was like, you guys are up in Michigan. See if they have
Yeah, we
Mega
did stop.
Millions and stop in some like Hodunk town and get a ticket.
We had Peter fucking directing us, and I kept missing the fucking directions. I honestly added 20 minutes to our commute up there, just fucking around. But it did end us up at a gas station that where we bought, so it was like perfect, like hick town to try to win my $1 billion.
Damn it! And we didn't win.
The ski trip was just
Just to get those tickets.
an icing on the cake. The whole
Yeah,
mission was to get some
And we,
Winning
Quality
tickets,
lottery
was not
ticket,
successful.
And
yeah.
the best is we're in the car and Joe's going through and Joe's like, "Oh, we got one. Oh, we got two." And I'm like, "Oh shit, is this motherfucker?"
And
then he
that's
went
it.
and then he went silent, and I'm like, "This motherfucker's probably reading these numbers. We're gonna win right now."
Nope, didn't win, guys.
Yeah,
It was like one on one line, one on another. The most that we got on one line was 2, and I don't know if that gets you anything.
I think you need
but-
No,
three to get money.
I think
Three
the
to
only
get
thing
money.
that you get money for is
Three.
you get 3 or you get the Powerball.
isn't that
And it
like
gives you like a free ticket or something.
isn't that the best daydream though?
Oh, man.
It's saying you win $800 million. I mean, I know you only get $400 million. It'd be tough to spend all
Only
that,
400
I guess.
million?
Yeah.
Only?
Did anybody win it?
No, it's up.
No,
up
it's
to-
still-
So
almost
it's
a
on
billion.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
$1 billion.
So
I think
I gotta
one
buy
is like
$5 tickets for change.
760 million, and the other is
Yes,
like
yeah.
500 and something.
Yeah,
million, I
like
think.
what is it? The one was like 650 or 700. Like Mega Millions was like 700, and then I looked at Powerball and it was like
Yeah,
560 or 600 or something
Mhm.
like that. Yeah.
But that's like my favorite thing to do. Like when I was a kid and I was like 18, you can start doing it. You can start buying the lotto tickets. It was the that daydream, like your Walgreens, like, oh shit, I'm gonna win this tonight, and I'm coming back to this place.
I turned 18 and I went to the convenience store that's literally
Mhm.
across the street from our house. I went over there. I'm like,
Yep.
I'm gonna buy myself a cigar. I'm buying myself a lottery ticket. Went over there. It's like, give me your finest cigar and 3 lottery tickets. They're like, can I see your ID? Give it to them. We can't sell this to you. I'm like, what the hell do you mean you can't? I'm 18. No. You gotta wait. You gotta wait a day. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So literally, I sat there and with this dumb on the look as this lady tells me, "Nah, I can't sell this to you. You're not 18." I'm like, no, clearly my ID says I'm 18.
is that like
Let
a
me
thing?
show
You
you-
turn 18. It's 18
No.
in one day, or was it
No.
just them being?
It was just her
Yeah.
being weird, and so I went somewhere else. And
That's
got it.
You went to Playboy magazine?
Yeah.
Thought you were faking.
Yeah. No, and
Foodie magazine.
the funny part is most people on their 18th birthday will win something, and then they kind of get hooked. It's kind of that like one time you grab something, you win, and then now you want to keep doing it because you want to, you know what I mean?
They say one of the worst things that can happen to you when you first go to a casino is you win your first hand or whatever.
Exactly, with lotto.
I went to the racetrack and I won huge the first time I went there and never went back because I knew it was never going to be any good.
Oh, that's awesome. I've understood horse racing and horse betting. Like the bar downtown that has it, Joe's on Weed or whatever.
Yeah.
You just see those old guys in there like all day watching
races. Yeah.
I literally won $500 the first time, and I never went back.
That's awesome.
That's a lot. Yeah.
How did you just bet in one horse?
I know. I hit one that was like a 30-1 odds or whatever.
Oh shit!
And so that was the big winner of the day.
Who took you to?
That was my day, but it was like a charitable thing or like an outing with my dad.
There you go. There's a charity event. Let's go racing. Let's spend money on the horses.
It wasn't charity. It was like one of the Chamber of Commerce like.
Oh, okay. Like an outing.
Yeah, like
that's
outing
awesome.
For that.
That sounds fun. What? So Pat actually does have a whiskey. What are you drinking tonight, bud?
I am drinking Wilderness Trail, the 6-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon.
It's what, a sweet mash?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah?
Chris and I had some last night.
Yeah, had it last night. It's really good.
Oh yeah, what's it taste like? Give me the ingredients.
It tastes like whiskey.
Give me the ingredients.
There are no
They don't give you the
ingredients.
ingredients. They keep it quiet.
Keep it quiet.
They don't give you what it's supposed to taste.
Yeah,
like.
they don't give you that palate little card thing to tell you if it's got cake or smoke or figs. All Joe tastes is the whiskey.
The whiskey.
What's it taste like? Whiskey.
Tastes like corn.
This one, the other one, that one's got a little more heat to it than this one does.
Oh, so you busted out both yesterday.
Yeah.
This is the regular one. This is the regular one, and that's
not yesterday.
No.
Okay.
We needed this whiskey for that Disney trivia last night.
Yeah. Oh, is it all Disney trap?
It was all Disney trivia. So
you guys are garbage then.
Oh, total.
Yeah, but we finished in third.
Although we could have finished higher if they would have listened to Pat Lynch at the end.
Yeah.
Because it said the final question was which Disney/Pixar movies have a higher than 95% rating on Rotten Tomato. And Katrina kept telling me it was only Pixar movies. I'm like, no, it says Disney/Pixar.
Yeah, she thought it was Disney and Pixar.
So there are a bunch of movies that we didn't pick that she didn't list on there because they're just Disney movies. And then she's like, that's not how it's said. I'm like,
yeah, I didn't pay attention to the question, but I heard the lady read it off, and I'm like, she did not read it off like that. She said Disney and Pixar. Yeah. And I could have sworn she said 93%, but
do they still?
I was pretty much in the whiskey.
Do they do that like once a week? Once a week. I know they do it, but do they do it like every week?
No.
Just because I remember last time, didn't we do that the last time we did it with them?
They were
on there, right?
They just happened to be on there, yeah.
And it was for Katrina's birthday.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. We're like sitting there and they're like reading off these questions and they're giving the answers. And like one of the questions was like, what was Aladdin's first wish to the genie? And like we had no clue. Like, and then like all of a sudden like she reads it off after like she's giving off the answers. The question like to be a prince, and she's like his first wish was to be a prince. And Katrina and Pat are like, why the fuck didn't you say that? And I'm like, I was saying, and me and Pat are just laughing because I'm like. Literally, I just remembered right now. Like, literally, as she read the question off, I'm like, that's the answer.
Also, we probably should know that because the section was princes.
Yeah.
So we probably should have figured that out.
That's true. So,
it's like after taking a test, and then you're like,
fuck, I remember the answer. One, like, because the CPA test, there was always hidden, and there was a lot of the times the answer was in the question. You just had to read the question.
Yeah,
so that's like one of the big keys to the test was make sure you read the freaking question because a lot of times the answer's in the question.
Yeah, or they're purposely like they're trying to misdirect you to guess a different answer. The other thing that was great was they were like, "What's Prince Charming's like first name?" And like literally we just no.
Is that from Shrek?
No, that's like Sleeping Beauty or something.
Snow White,
we're like,
maybe,
or Snow White. Something.
Is it Jerry?
No, it was
we put
Florian.
John.
We put John.
Wait, it was Florian?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's like. So, like, Katrina's, like, out there. She's like, give me some, like, old-time names from back in the day. And I'm like, Alabasta.
Joseph.
John Foot Penis.
Joseph.
That was, like...
Joseph. We're listening to
also with our Simba D's Nuts team, Frank and Jess's parents were on the thing, too. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
You were playing...
Come on, guys.
You yell it off.
Hey, what about Jasmine's Pussy Palace?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's much
Wait,
worse.
somebody had Jasmine's Pussy Palace?
As a team name.
Wow.
That is much worse.
We'll
Wow.
talk about that offline. We'll talk about that. That's
on the Patreon podcast.
We'll talk about that one after the podcast real quick.
we're on our, so we went up 6 hours up into Michigan, and on our way back, we were listening to all these Dateline podcasts, and there's actually a really good one. It was there's actually two. One was like, this guy's an idiot. He killed his wife, took his wife on this like janky ass cruise, Pat, and killed her and threw her over the top. And I always was thinking about Pat like telling me like, don't ever go on a cruise. It's where people get murdered all the time. And I'm like, this lady did not get that memo from Pat. Then the other one, this one's actually a really good kind of like topic to discuss, I think, a little bit, is it was a guy who had some land out in Sierra
Nevada, yeah.
Or no, in California, right?
In California.
And he had a bunch of signs that say, hey, pretty much don't try on my land.
It's a spot really out in the boonies.
Yes.
The closest cop.
Trespass will be shot type thing.
The closest cop was stationed like an hour away or something or like the closest like police.
An hour and a half away.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's very spread out. So like, it wasn't even a cop. It was a game warden with it was, Discovery does the game warden like show.
Yeah.
These guys were there with them actually on this. And, so these kids in California they were trying to find a party on the lake that was out in this remote area, and they couldn't find it, but they came up on this like fucking crazy guy's house who's got his family there. I don't know if he's really crazy, but his signs make him look a little fucking weird.
It was I forget what it said. It said red-blooded Christians,
Americans only. Others will be shot.
No trespassing.
Well, how do you know that when
red-blooded Christians live here.
How do you know if they're Christians? If you shoot somebody, how do you know if they're not a Christian?
This guy was not an idiot. So I know, but but these kids are coming there and they start like they got this like big fog light, and they're like antagonizing people, and they're just being young kids being dumb, and they stole something from like a I didn't know it, like a solar light. From him.
Yeah, just one of those like ones that you would plug in the front of your lawn, or like stamp into, like push down into your lawn. That
and it sucks up the sun during the day and it lights up at night. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And the area was also known to be hit by thieves a lot because of that. So, a couple nights before, or like a neighbor previously had footsteps around their like caravan Winnebago thing. They woke up, the next morning they saw footsteps. So it's sometimes there's some sketch stuff going on over there.
And then the guy was trying to say that him and his family were scared. This dude also has probably a small arsenal with it.
Yep.
So these kids came one day, flashed the light, kind of scared that guy's family, and they
stole one of his
signs and left, and nothing of it. So the family's kind of nervous because they've had some issues. The kids come back again the next day. And we're fucking around because they heard of another party. They were just fucking around, and they wanted to show their other buddies. There was like 6 dudes in a fucking car, and they wanted to show the other buddies these like crazy signs. And then one of the idiots decided to steal another solar light. Well, this time the guy's fucking
He's Rambo-ing it.
Yeah, gets in his fucking pickup, chases this guy 8 miles. These guys 8 miles, shoots up their car. Ooh. He alleges that they shot first. He shoots like this whole place up, and then realizes like comes to the car.
He's like shooting them as he's driving. He literally talks about putting his AR out the window and shooting.
He's got his assault rifle outside.
Christ.
And unfortunately, one of the kids died. One other kid got like his ankle, like hers, like got shot up pretty bad. And so they go to court with it. And me and Joe actually had a pretty good talk about it. It's like it's a very hard decision to make. Like they're trespassing on this guy's land, and his family did feel like they were scared. There could have been issues, or they were scared for them.
He had 2 little girls.
Yes. Too. I would argue that but if you're driving 8 miles, they're off your property.
Yeah,
they're well off your property.
Yeah. And
so that's me. That's
the other thing.
That's where you cross.
Well, but the other thing is now they don't know. They never found the gun, but he says they shot 3 times. They found 3 random bullets.
Yeah, they found 3 casings of a certain type of. It was all the same ammunition.
But people go shooting all the time out in the middle of nowhere.
That's what they argued.
And they said that these guys, how fast they were going, 3 bullets lined up within like a foot of each other. Just not gonna happen. Yeah. And so this guy got 84 years to life.
Woo!
Yep.
Is that insane? Like, to me, it's like...
84 is kind of... That's a weird number. Like, usually it's like 25, 35. Like, they give you like 50 to life or whatever, but I've never heard of that.
He could have gotten a deal, too.
It's probably too, like, he killed one kid, he injured another, so it's probably multiple, like, crimes that added up to...
He had to be probably in his 40s, maybe, at most in his 40s.
Yeah.
And me and Joe really, like, debated it, like, you kind of see, like, he's protecting his family.
You can see where it's coming from, because the area is known to have burglars. They did show up the night before.
Yeah, and then they showed up again.
And this was at night, like dead of night, middle.
I mean, that kind of plays on the stand your ground.
And that's what the guy's lawyer.
But in California, they don't have stand your ground laws.
They do, and that's what he was arguing here because, and the argument was, even though they left, the idea was they could come back like they did the night before, and then it could be even more dangerous.
Should have lived in Florida.
Well, I think probably the big thing that probably played, and I don't know if they talked to the jury at all or not, or if anybody from the jury talked, but I'm going to assume that the fact that they were 8 miles away from his property.
That's what I think.
That's
what I kept saying is I'm like, hey, like, and then we kind of like watched, like we were driving, and I was looking. All right, so I started. And 8 miles. 8 miles is a long time. It's not just... Yeah.
Even if you're going 60 miles an hour the whole time in a straight line, that's 8 minutes.
8 miles from here is like you're south of downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is a long time.
And this is back roads, up and down. Yeah. So, I mean, this is...
And these kids were waving a white flag out of their car like, hey...
Somebody took off a T-shirt. They threw out the solar lights. Like, as he was, like, firing off rounds, they threw out the solar lights. But it was... Yeah, it just... It's a weird spot to be in. I thought of the guy, the Navy SEAL from Lone Survivor. Like, that guy, I think it's Chris something. He was chasing kids, but they had shot his dog. Like, people were fucking around, and he is the Navy SEAL, like the Lone Survivor, you know, the character they based that he's the guy they based that movie on. So he's got PTSD and he's got this dog and he chased after him. And I remember when that came out, he didn't end up firing on him, but he fucking chased him down and then finally cornered him and then just pulled out his gun and like had them stay there till the cops got there.
You know,
the 911 call was, I still remember he calls in, he goes, hey, these kids just shot my dog. I'm chasing after him right now. And the lady's like, the 911 operator goes, please stop. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. It's dangerous. He goes, ma'am, I'm a Navy SEAL. This is what I've done. I'm chasing these kids down till I get them. Like, so I'm
going to kill them just so you know.
The difference was he didn't shoot anything. You know, he ended up just chasing them down. And I guess given the circumstances and everything, he didn't get in trouble and these kids did, but I just thought, like, that's a very similar situation.
That just seems like a terrifying thing, like, in my head. Like, just being, like, chased in a car with some guy shooting at you. Or just, like,
there's some God.
Six kids are, those 6, like, young adults that, like, and then one buddy who died, their lives have changed completely.
Oh, yeah.
There's
that one guy that got shot in the leg, his leg is...
He's lucky he has a leg?
Yeah, he's lucky to be alive. He was almost dead. He almost bled out. But now his, like, from the knee down, he says his leg was no good anymore.
I remember when I was, like, it's not that dramatic, but I remember when I was in like probably, like, 14 or 13, like, I was over by Montrose Central, and I had to throw a snowball at, like, a car, like, randomly driving by, hitting, like, the side of the car. It didn't, like, do any damage to the car. This dude decided that he stopped the car, pulled a U-turn, and started chasing after me and my friends at the time. And we're literally running from them, like through the thing, running. We dug down an alley, running down the alley, and this like my friends are in front of me, and I'm starting to like I'm like there's nobody chase us, and I see this car turning, and he's fucking booking it. And so I basically jump like a fence and like cross it like to like a yard. Yeah. And the guy gets in the car, he's like, "Why are you running? Why are you running? Why the fuck do you think I'm running? You're just trying to chase me down with your car, you fucking psycho."
So you were smart enough to do it away from your house. Our dumbasses would go outside, we build a fort by the car. And anytime a car would come, we just launch a couple. And then if they'd stop, we just run in our house. And then they'd be ringing the doorbell. Like, fuck. I'm thinking it back now, like, how dumb could I be?
Oh, we were dumb shit.
But I mean, let's be like, who's like, how psycho is that dude to go chase somebody down for that? And my friends, and the reason I kept yelling at him and didn't like keep going is because my friends were up the alley still. Like, they were running up the alley. And so, like, I didn't want like him to get in the car and go fucking mow them down.
Yeah. Jesus. People, I mean, some people, like, and I get it. It's your car, it's your money, but
It was
that did but I'm just saying, like, some people are so overly.
I didn't hit the windshield. It was like a little tap, and then the guy just fucking.
I one time I was driving with Reno, my buddy Reno, and these kids. There was probably about 11 of them, and they were all riding their bicycles in the street, and we're trying to go around them, and they start. It's right near a park, and so we're on some side street, and he gives them a little beep to kind of be like, "Hey, I'm behind you. Can you guys, get out of the road?"
Bikers,
yeah,
fucking hate bicycles.
But these aren't like bicyclists, like on the street. It's just kids, like, and they're blocking the entire road. So eventually, I was like, I think. And I had to be like 18 at the time. These kids were probably 14 or 15. And finally, I was just like, I should just get out of the car and chase them. Like, just to fuck with them. And like scare them. So he gets out of the car, or he stops the car. I get out, and they're still antagonizing. They're like, fuck you. What are you going to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I start sprinting towards them. And I'm about 50 feet away from these guys, and they're on their bikes, and I start sprinting, and I catch up to them, and I got it within about 10 feet, and I go, oh my God, the whole reason I was going to do this was to fuck with them, but what happens if they call my bluff, and they don't do anything? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I guess, I don't know. But thankfully, for me anyways, they took off, and then there was one kid that was slower than the rest, and I just chased this kid around the park for like 2-3 minutes, and then someone would be like, hey, fuck you, guy, and then I go chase after that kid, and then I just got back in the car, and we drove off. But it was just like, random. It's just like, dumb, kids being dumb on both sides, them and myself. Nobody was hurt. Nobody got hurt or anything. It was just like fucking around.
Yeah, because that could have, thinking back, I hate thinking about it like that, but like that could have really kind of gone to a. Oh
yeah, I was like, what do I do if I get to the? I'm not going to get violent with them.
You pray Reno gets out of the car with a tire iron.
Joe gets his ass kicked.
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Reno's honking at the car.
It'd be like
let's go, I gotta go.
Please stop.
It'd be like what's that Will Ferrell movie where they get like picked on by the. He's like, I don't want to go this way. He's like, what's wrong? No, there's just this guy. You turn around, it's a kid. And they're all just like picking on him.
Oh man, Step Brothers is so good. That's a movie you have to watch. Like all Will Ferrell movies, you have to watch a couple times to catch all the fucking good jokes.
Oh yeah, it's just a joke a minute. The one movie I've never completely watched all the way through is Anchorman.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched it in chunks.
Yeah. Pat really likes Anchorman. Me too. I've only watched it in chunks. I've never watched it from start to finish.
I never thought it was that good that I tried to start watching it either at someone's place or something, and then I just get disinterested and I go on. I always want to go back because I feel like I didn't appreciate them back then, and they're good and fun. They're funny movies.
Oh yeah, Anchorman's funny.
It's funny is I watched the second one before I saw the first one.
I've never seen the second.
Second one's not as good.
No, but I thought it was kind of funny.
It was. It's the size of the first one.
This is all dumb shit.
But, the first was a lot.
You know what is funny? I was trying to think of any movies that I would want to see right now, and I don't really think of anything out there right now.
Well, I want to see the one, but it's gonna be HBO Max, so I don't have to go and see it.
There's
that
the one with Denzel Washington and the guy that played
Remy Malek.
Yeah, the guy that played
Freddie Mercury. Yeah.
I feel like there's been a bunch of movies coming out recently that you don't hear about because they're not going to the theaters anymore.
Also, a lot of movies are being pushed because of the theater thing.
That's true too. But I just saw all these. I mean, Netflix is putting out a movie every week, and one of them has, I think, The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot in it, and it's like this spy comedy movie.
Okay.
And I didn't.
When the hell is Bodyguards 2 coming out?
I have no clue.
Come on, damn it!
I'll Google it for you. I'll get on the Google.
You know, Google. Oh, of course, I do have the iPad. If we need to. There isn't really much need for because all the games are going on right now, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe's lock of the week.
We can't get any Chris single videos today.
No single videos. I'm trying to think what we talked about on Thursday. We talked about the beer, which was good.
Yep.
The whiskey.
We talked about the games that were coming up.
Definitely talked about the games coming up. Oh, we talked about James Harden and that trade.
Oh, yeah.
That trade was ridiculous. Like what Houston got back for a guy that was destroying his value. I thought it was insane.
Supposed to come out on August 20th, 2021.
Okay. But I guess 2. That's nice. That's gonna have. It's more into the Samuel Adams or Samuel Jackson's girlfriend. I think is supposed to be
she's a major player.
Salma Hayek.
Yes, she's looking good for 50.
I saw a trailer with her and Owen Wilson in a movie, and it looks like the premise is he's a guy who has some sort of job and something very boring, like business-wise, and he's just not happy, and life is kind of rough, and it looks like he doesn't have a wife, but he's got 2 kids that are in high school, and all of a sudden, Salma Hayek is... He's been having these dreams of bliss.
Comes out on February 5th. I think it's an Amazon movie, looks like.
Yeah, but Salma Hayek saying, all of this is a lie, like everything's a program. And then she's like, look, and then she just flicks her hand, and all of a sudden, people just start like flying or things move, objects move, and she's like, I'm a programmer, and
isn't it kind of like the one with Ryan Reynolds too?
This is like Rick and Morty, where they try. What's that one episode, Chris? You know what I'm talking about? Where Jerry's like has the greatest day of his life ever.
Oh. No, so this is actually the opposite. The whole point of the movie is she's this like super engineer doctor lady who puts people in these programs so that they can appreciate life better, because she puts them in these miserable situations so that they can then appreciate life better. But he doesn't remember life outside. He's like, why don't I have memories? And then it starts to like blend together, and it almost looks like he's going to the real world.
Next thing you know, he's in the Matrix.
And then it's like Owen Wilson in the Matrix, kind of. But it just looks so weird because at the end of it, it starts blending together. And he's like, these kids aren't real, but then you're like, I'm not sure which one is the real one. And it looks like it gets really dark. It is by no means a comedy or a fun movie. It's like a drama.
See, these are the things
suspense.
I don't like. Where do you see movie previews now? Like, I don't see any. I didn't.
They come up
only
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Only on YouTube. Yeah, that's where I saw this.
If you watch streaming sites like Amazon, if you watch Amazon Prime at all, like the stuff will kind of pop up there sometimes. Like if you do ads and like their ads. If you have Hulu with ads, it'll be there.
But that's what I feel like. Without the movie theaters and all these posters and everything, I have no idea. I just happened to come across this, but I feel like I don't know all these movies that are coming out are being made anymore for some reason.
At all. And
it's tied to COVID, but you know,
Coming to America 2 is coming out. Amazon Prime.
I did watch the trailer. I'm nervous. And it hasn't been.
I feel like the premise is kind of dumb. Like the whole first movie, he was chasing after that lady, and the premise in this is he had sex with the lady, and he's got a child that he didn't know about.
Correct.
He had sex with that woman?
He's saying that basically before all the events of the first movie, sometime during the events of before he met the lady that he got married to, that he had a kid somewhere else, is what the premise is, and he's going back to find his kid in
New York.
And they have all the old actors in there.
Yeah, Arsenio Hall.
Yep. I didn't know the guy that played the actual king was still alive.
James Earl Jones?
Yeah.
I
thought he was
Darth Vader's voice, man.
Yeah. And Mufasa.
Yes, Mufasa, yeah.
He was also Mufasa in the live action one.
Yes, I think he's the only one who actually played himself. Like, who actually played the character for
I think he's got to be like 90, I think. He's old. He's an old dude.
Yeah, he don't look too
James
bad.
Earl Jones.
He's a guy who looked old when he was younger, kind of like Patrick Stewart. Like, he's aged, but...
Ben Kingsley's another one that's like that. The guy that plays
Yeah.
Gandhi.
What's her face? Betty White. I heard it on podcasts. They actually explained it pretty well. Like, Betty White has been old forever. She's gotten older. She just looks the same, but she's, because she was so old. Like when she was
sometimes there's people who get like more famous. Like Morgan Freeman was like a stage actor for a long time, but like you only really seen in movies as an older guy.
Yeah.
So there's no like real Morgan Freeman as a young guy.
Patrick Stewart was like that. He always looked old. He was bald. Steve Martin went gray really early on. Doesn't look like he's aged over the last 50 years, even though he... it's almost like a blessing to look old, young, and then you just keep that. And if you don't go to shit, in terms of
look like
drugs
shit.
or anything. But
Sinbad looks terrible.
Sorry,
Sinbad.
He had a stroke, I think.
I thought he might have gotten close to dying, but because he was still torn. Steve Martin, he was like an insanely really good comic.
Oh yeah,
but
he stopped because
he tore Martin short. Like the last couple of years.
Yeah, but
when he was at his prime, he was so good though that he didn't really know if he was that good, because like people they would just come out in droves to see him and would just laugh at anything. So like he kind of stopped doing it because he just didn't know if his stuff was good anymore. And then he became so popular in the movies and such. But before that, like, he was like a really, really good comic.
What movie would you say? What movie would you say is? I can't think of any movies that I really that I liked.
The airport
Planes, Trains,
Automobiles.
That movie was phenomenal.
But I'm not saying other than that, like, I can't think of too many movies. Like, I know he's in stuff that I've never really seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
The only one
He's
that comes
more
to mind
reach,
is
right?
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes.
But he was in tons.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on SNL.
Yep.
He was in a bunch of movies in that era. You know.
I'm just saying I never really watched too many of his movies.
Yeah.
I never watched the Scene Three Amigos. I never really watched that.
What's that?
He's
Oh,
in
the
it.
Three Amigos.
I never
Yeah.
watched that one. Really.
Isn't he in the one where like it swears so much I forget what it is now. Or yeah, I can't think of the fucking name, but I remember that they're sitting at a campfire and they're farting, and that's like kind of like a
Oh, are you thinking of Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
He's not in that. That's
Blazing
Gene.
Wilder.
That's Gene Wilder,
Yeah.
the guy from Willy Wonka.
There's a guy I'm like Apple News gives you like clips, you know, on your, if you go left, you scroll left, you get all these like clips,
Yeah.
and there's one record deal guy who just died in prison.
Phil Spector guy.
Yeah, and he looks just like Gene Wilder.
Oh, when he went to jail, he had like that big old perm.
Yeah,
right?
you can see it.
Pacino did a movie of him for HBO. I've not seen it, but
Where he was playing him.
Yeah.
Is that Jinx?
no. That Jinx is a true documentary.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know how.
Phil Spector thing.
Lord, Phil Spector's an ugly son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, not a good.
So
not a-
Pacino did his movie for HBO, and he did the one on Joe Paterno. I didn't see either, but I know he did both of those.
I'm just thinking fucking Paterno or Joe Paterno's movie. He was also right. Robert De Niro did that too, right?
No, that was Pacino did that one. I don't think De Niro was in that. No.
Okay.
Also, I think he's done 3 movies. He did also the Jack Kevorkian movie too. Pacino did for HBO.
Those guys aren't doing shit nowadays.
Who's that?
Pacino, when's the last thing he's done?
He's in a new movie.
Is he?
He's also like 80.
Yeah. You know, they get him looking real like 60s or like 50s and 40s.
I mean, I guess the most recent movie they did was the one on Netflix with him and De Niro.
The Irishman?
the Jimmy Hoffa movie, yeah,
Yeah.
where he played Hoffa.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? They redid the third Godfather movie, but that's not like a new movie.
That was like the 90s.
Yeah,
The 90s.
they redid the edit of the last Godfather movie
That's another one
to
I haven't
really
seen all the way
change
through.
things.
Watch this.
Yeah,
It's the first 2 only you only watch the third one.
Yeah, what's the third one about?
it's almost like his death and demise, basically.
Yeah, kind of. That's not that good.
I've never seen the one where he's the cocaine guy either.
Scarface?
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I've seen Scarface.
That's a ridiculous movie.
I haven't seen The Godfather or any of them.
Scarface is a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, is it just like a ridiculously good movie or?
It's okay. It's very violent. It's like a super violent movie. It's okay.
Oh, he's in that show on Amazon, Hunters.
Oh, that's right. He's in Hunters.
The Nazi Hunter one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I thought they got canceled.
Maybe.
It might have gotten canceled.
But
He
there's
was
still
on,
one
they had a
season
couple
out there.
seasons of that, right? Or
At least one.
just one.
I
At
thought
least
that I remember reading an article about how like kind of dumb it was and like, but
I watched a couple episodes
yeah.
and I was like, nah, I'm okay.
Yeah. That is a real thing though. They still are looking for like Nazis. I
Oh.
mean,
If you live this long, you're probably about to.
they just got some. They got somebody last year, and
they charge them like you
Yeah.
think. Oh, they're old. No, they charge them out the.
They should. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, they're horrible people.
How about that history show like hunting Hitler?
Hunting for Hitler. That was with Tim Kennedy, wasn't
Yes, yeah. But how crazy is it? There's a fucking town in Argentina that's like a German town, pretty much. And they
it?
all
Yeah.
like blonde, blue eyes.
They speak.
They speak-
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Mhm.
They really do. And it's. I mean, you're in the middle of fucking.
It's Oktoberfest, guys.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I wonder if you do kind of wonder if because they did test the remains that Russia has for Hitler, and I think it was the skull was a woman's skull. So it's like people don't really think that he actually died in that bunker, but that's another fucking goddamn conspiracy. I've been starting to get into these conspiracy theories. Who's
You're gonna watch the Jesse the Body Ventura ones then.
These were garbage, weren't they? Joe Rogan did one too.
They are. I don't remember. I just remember having a TV show about conspiracy theories. I never saw any of them.
Oh, really?
Listen to I think he was on Chris Jericho's podcast when he listened to it. And he was out there with some of his theories were some kind of made sense. Some like you're losing me, Jesse, on that one.
That dude was a Navy SEAL, an action star, and then
A wrestler,
a wrestler,
announcer, wrestler.
a politician, and that dude is fucking nuts.
He's straight nuts.
Absolutely nuts.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't like I have no idea. But I've heard that when he was governor, it was not good.
What
In
it was?
Minnesota.
It wasn't. Oh, that's what it was.
In
Minnesota. I was like, what
I
state?
don't think it was good. Definitely a reason he did not get a second term. But I do remember hearing that he was dog shit as a governor.
Well, I mean, that's not.
Can't be worse than Illinois.
I mean, it can't be worse than some of the other governors going around. So, like, how making you
Which is
do?
fucking Gavin Newsom's. You haven't really heard about him or in California lately because his ass is on. They're trying to get him recalled. They need like a million votes, like a petition signed, and they're at like 500,000. And if that goes to, then they can vote on if he gets recalled, and then they'll
Is that because of his? Is that because of his COVID policies?
Yeah, they're so fucking tired of him, like because nobody can do anything.
But I mean, they're the worst in the country.
Yeah, but
It's a hard spot to be in.
It's been, yes, no, you're right. Like it's tough because how do you like do this right? But the problem is, I think, it's the power, and these guys don't want to give up the power.
Yeah.
I mean, Lori Lightfoot is begging the governor of Illinois to let the restaurants have people come inside, and he's saying no because the numbers aren't there. But like, you're not gonna have any fucking businesses to come back.
I'm not a fan of our current mayor generally, but
You don't like our mayor?
No.
Why is that?
I don't really care for her most recent budget for starters.
What was in the budget that then?
Raising everybody's property taxes again.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think.
I also don't think she's handled a lot of things very well.
I think she did a great job with the riots. I think she got that under control. And she's back to police. I think that's one good thing she's done. I don't like her budget at all. I think that she.
I don't like how she strong arms the alderman too.
No, that's bad. That's scary stuff because you got to be able to compromise, and it's her way or the highway, which doesn't fucking work. The other issue is, she was gonna cut. She was gonna make all these big cuts, and then the aldermen were like, "Who were you gonna take those cuts from?" And then she backed off. She's not doing any of the fucking cuts. Yeah. So we're just spending. We can't. We're never gonna get into our fucking means because we just keep fucking spending.
Yeah, we're raising property taxes on people during a pandemic, which is great.
I mean, the governor, Chris's article, the governor tried to. Illinois follows the federal tax breaks or tax rules pretty much. So if you
Not for long.
No, well, he wants to, but he couldn't get it done.
He couldn't get it done on a lame dunk session. And these new guys don't. It doesn't seem they're not going to have the suit. They had like a super. They have a super majority for the House and the Senate. I think in Illinois, where the Democrats they don't need a Republican vote, and I think they lost some of that in.
Oh yeah,
in the election.
Well, Madigan's out, but it sounds like he's got like whoever's in there now. It sounds like his puppet.
I was like, oh great, we got Madigan out. We'll have somebody in here who can.
It sounds like his puppet guy.
And then everybody said, yeah, him and Madigan have worked together, right? Hand in, all for the last like 20 years, and it's like this is ridiculous. Can't get anything done. Same people are.
This dude's literally under indictment, and he still won't back up.
Yeah, no, not at all. He doesn't, and he's in his 80s or something. Like,
That's
dude, just fucking sail off into the sunset, baby.
That's crazy.
It's terrible.
How long until Pricks was up for re-election again? Is it 2 more years?
I think, yeah.
For that.
We actually were having a good conversation. Like our ride up, we had a really great conversation the whole way up there. And we're kind of talking about politics and some of the new guns and how some of these people hate these new politicians trying to make changes, and all these politicians don't want to give up their fucking power. Like, no. I don't, Alex or whatever her name is, Cortez.
AOC.
Yeah, AOC. I don't believe in her. That far right on the progressives.
Left.
But but there's a lot of people who vote for her, and she's got some ideas that we can at least listen to. Pelosi won't give her a shot. Nobody in the Republicans will let her come in and kind of at least have these conversations. They just fucking keep her out, and they're trying their best to get rid of her so that her shit doesn't get in there.
Well, I can see why. I mean, that's her policies are very anti-Republican, so I could definitely.
Yes,
see why they
I get that. Yeah, no, 100%. But I think there's got to be somewhat of a middle because some of that stuff is. There's a lot of people who believe in that.
She's very liberal for sure. Her policies.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the stimulus stuff coming out, and how I think me and Chris were talking about it. I think everybody's like, everybody's spending this extra $1,400, and I don't think it's a guaranteed deal. I think a lot of people are kind of against it. Keep fucking printing money.
Yeah, it's a hard.
I think it probably depends. Where how COVID's affected you is where you stand on it.
Yes. Yeah. No, I get it, and I'm sure it's really needed. I think there's just got to be better ways to fucking.
I think it's needed, but I think the way that these things have been rushed so much, I think you need to really look at how to direct this money and who needs this money, and that's not really being done. They're doing it on more of a blanket.
Illinois just did it again. They passed this thing for like kind of like police reforms.
Oh,
Joe was telling us about, and some of the things makes sense that that they should be doing.
Yeah. I mean, the major highlights are, I think every cop has to wear a body camera moving forward. Well, whenever this goes into place, all cops will have to have a body camera. You can't use chokeholds anymore, which I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
Although that's hard. I mean, to be honest, like on the other side of that, you're getting into a scuffle with someone.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to be limited in what you do, but at the same time, if you got to put him in a chokehold, you put him in a chokehold, but let's let it go.
Maybe a 10-minute chokehold.
Yeah, let's, when a guy is begging for his life, maybe we get off his neck.
And then the big thing is
when he's in handcuffs already.
Cash bail. Like you're bailing out.
I've seen something that like this is like a big, huge thing. Like cash bail versus
they don't do
that.
Or they're removing that it's not always going to be cash anymore. So there may be like steps that you can take, but the big thing they're saying is you can be arrested and then you're out on the street in 24 hours.
It's creating more equity for people who can't afford bail is what it is.
Yeah.
Which that's going to be under fire the first time that someone who probably shouldn't get out gets out.
Gets out and then somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
But it does kind of make sense too. Where
that's not a race thing. That's going to happen with you let the wrong person out because of X, Y, and Z.
But the big thing I thought, and that when Joe brought this up was they did it at night. It was like 500 and like
I think it was almost an 800-page or 500-page bill. They put it out at like 1:59 and the bill in the morning.
1:59 in the morning.
And the bill passed at like 4:48 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at like
3 hours,
some backroom politics.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's some real shady shit.
It's like a similar stuff too. Like the problem these things get caught up for is they're throwing all this other shit in there that has nothing to do with stimulus. Like, you're talking about a stimulus check, and then you'd be talking about like drilling in oil for Alaska. Like, they're not related at all. But in order to get votes for X, like I want that to be in there to be proved. And that's how these things work, and it's ridiculous. And nobody knows about it until it's like over and done with.
Yeah, that's how we got UFOs. Or not UFOs, but like that's how they released they snuck the UFO thing into the stimulus package for COVID. So it just got released, like 1,000+ documents, whatever documentation I think it was the CIA or basically the government had to be released by a couple days ago. And now I think it's on something called the Black Vault or Big Vault or something like that. And they put it out and I think he's the guy that put it out, or whatever platform they put it on. It's 35 terabytes has been like, or 300. It's something crazy. The amount of people reading it already and going through it. And then the thing that's kind of shady or kind of weird to think about, but when he put it out, he goes, or when they did put it out, they go, "There's no real way to know if they gave us everything." Which is like it's a real thing, and I'm sure there's parts of it that are related to stuff that missions were involved and things have to be blacked out and stuff, but it's just like coming back to like so much you don't know.
That's crazy. I think another good conversation we had is over the weekend is, do you think there actually are aliens? And then Joe brought up a great point, like if there are, should we be trying to make contact with them?
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, do I think there's life somewhere in the other universe? I would say yes. Do I think that life form is so much more advanced than us that they're able to visit us? I don't know about that.
I don't know. And then somebody brought up, well, look at all history for all time. A more advanced civilization comes in contact with someone who's a little less advanced, and they just run through them and dominate them. But somebody had brought up a good point that, well, these are aliens. They're going to be completely different to us altogether. They may not even...
I didn't know that in the 70s we threw out, like, we just gave them, like... So they could be, like, planning an attack on us since the fucking 70s because we gave them all the information.
Yeah, we gave them our alphabet. We gave them numbers. We threw in some equations. And then we drew almost like... we put a thing to scale for them so that they could see what we look like size and then the math how to like calculate that.
Maybe not.
Oh, great! We're going to an ass whooping contest. Boots on.
Giving them all the tips and tricks.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel like
straight to the nuts, guys. Straight to the nuts.
I feel like a lot of this shit that people see are
aliens just come with like nut crushing.
It's like Scary Movie 3. It's like, how do you guys? We choke you. That's how we say hello. How do you guys say goodbye? And then they kick you right in the nuts. Why'd I ask?
Oh, brother, that would be the worst. But I thought that was a great conversation. But there's definitely got to be, because the talk with the Joe Rogan had with the Navy SEAL commander, not Navy SEAL, but the Navy Airpipe commander, who's seen some of these fucking aircrafts flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way that it's just not. It's nothing we know. It could be China, I guess, or China or
how do we
Russia.
how do they not know it's some like U.S. like secret U.S. thing that's been flying around? Like
it's true.
Like the U.S. You think if the U.S. is developing shit, they're
Wait, what
how do you not know
about
that?
what about the guy from Area 51? He's
is it Richard something
no, it's
or
Bob? Isn't it Bob?
Bob Jewell? No, not that.
Bob
Lazar.
Bob Lazar, and he's been predicting shit from the 80s that has like that new element, and taking guys out, and they have videos of
these
like
advancements in
aircraft.
technology. Like a lot of the stuff that he calls is come to fruition or become a thing.
I think that's actually one of the things that really, and he came on Joe Rogan's podcast and talked about it. I think that's the one thing I think is they found like 3 different, like 2 or 3 crash ones. He thinks they were crashed. Mm-hmm. One was like in the Arctic that they like excavated, and then 2 other ones he thinks, and he also thinks that the aliens have left it there for us to kind of try to find, which is fucking nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we got enough things to worry about. That's not really a high priority
at this
in my
point
life.
too. I know. Well, I think it's kind of an interesting talk. I mean, there's so many.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what else we got fucking going on in the world? I mean, that's what I'm starting to dive into some of these conspiracies, like 9/11. I have no idea. That stuff doesn't really interest me either. The government did it; it didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the government did it personally.
I think there's some. I think honestly, I have no idea, but I think there's good evidence to show. And because I think George Bush or somebody's like family members or security team worked at 9/11 or was around or at the Pentagon or something like that. Mm-hmm. Actually, sorry, I'm making up. That's not Bush's dealings with some contractors in Iran or some bullshit was in the Pentagon. Like all these files were in the Pentagon, and that where the airplane landed was legitimately right there. So there's some things that you could say like, hey, this worked out.
I mean, there was missing funds and stuff, but I mean, I feel like I find it's hard to believe that the U.S. would instigate that kind of attack on their own. If they did, that's fucking.
Yeah, we'll never know. Yeah. It's like fucking JFK. You'll never know. I think that again. That's a government or no? I think they think
probably the mob killed him.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty clear.
Some people. I mean, one of the conspiracy theories though is that the government did it because of things that he was doing.
I think it was the mob because he pissed them off because he said he wanted it. Yeah, because the mob got him elected and then he didn't play. He didn't play nice. He elected his brother to be the Attorney General, who basically just went after the mob. Is what he did.
I started reading this article on the Italian mafia, and they just busted like 250 of these guys, and like they kind of went into the fucking life of like the mob. It's a long article, but it's so interesting that this stuff.
There's a long book called The Five Families that I've listened to like part of it. It's an unbelievable number of hours.
That McDonald, you need to speak up. That McDonald thing, the McMillions thing, is totally tied to the government and some of the families.
No, it's
not the government.
It's
sorry, the mob. The mob.
Oh, it was all the mob.
Yeah.
It was an easy way for them to make money. That's something you should definitely watch, Chris. It's fucking super interesting.
Wait, what?
The McMillions.
McMillions on HBO.
No one ever really won. Like no like regular person ever won the fucking
jackpot of McDonald's.
The $1 million
Monopoly thing.
The mob got into this. One of the head of securities who had to take it
since like the very beginning.
But he was selling them. He made money on it.
So. Oh, he made a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's something you should definitely watch. I thought that was really interesting. And then what the hell was I going to say? In regards to the mob. But it was it was a long ass article. It was really, really interesting. And these guys, their business is now, like, it used to never be about drugs. It's only about drugs now. And they make more money, I honestly think it was, like, Amazon and, like, some bank combined.
Oh, yeah. It was a ridiculous, like...
It's so insane how much money these... and then you think, like, all right, well, if there's this much money there, shouldn't the government be doing something like, all right, we understand that there's drugs in the world. Couldn't you figure out a way to make it where these guys aren't making fucking trillions of dollars?
Don't you think that they don't want that to happen?
What, the mobs?
You want to talk about conspiracy theory? I think that the government does not want to stop the drug trade. Personally,
well, the whole thing.
If the U.S. wanted to stop the drug trade, they have the military to go and kill all the. Go in there. They can go to Mexico. They can send any military anywhere they wanted to go to destroy these people. If they know where they can find out where these locations are for that they're packaging and doing drugs. If the U.S. wanted to stop it, they could stop it.
I'm wondering if I see what you're saying. My thought.
We have the most powerful military in the world. We could send drones anywhere we want to send drones to. We could stop the drug trade if we really want.
The cartels are getting pretty powerful though. I don't know how that doesn't.
Cartels are powerful, but then there's also the whole thing of like starting a whole national crisis because you're now going into another country and doing something.
Sure, but I'm saying, but you don't think Mexico would want the drugs out of the cartels out of their country?
Mexico
just like our politics are corrupt.
But what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, if the U.S., if both governments really want to stop it, they could have a joint thing, and the U.S. military could end that at any time they want to.
I can see what you're saying.
I mean, look at the icon, like things like the Iran-Contra. They were using They were using
cocaine.
They were also using airports and training and bases of drug dealers in Mexico for training to send people down there. So if you're telling me the U.S. doesn't allow that, like that's something I would definitely say.
That's interesting stuff, though. It is kind of fucked up.
I mean, they did. I've heard
all the shit the U.S. has done in Latin America is fucked up.
Oh,
I think this is less. I think this was. It used to be this conspiracy theory that kind of ended up turning true, but just how they brought. I think it was cocaine in, like that American dude.
Barry whatever. Not Barry Zito. He was a pitcher.
Barry Zito.
No, but Barry something. Yeah,
he was played by Tom Cruise in the movie.
Yeah.
But
it was such a good movie.
the government knew and they were a part of it, but they didn't do anything about it.
Him out of jail.
Yeah, and it's like.
And that's why they think George Bush. I mean, God, this is a complete conspiracy theory podcast this week. But they think that that's one of the reasons George Bush didn't get reelected is because of all that shit. They're just like, you got to go. We got to get you out of here. All this shit's gonna fucking hit.
Well, he was sort of tailing off all the shit that Reagan did a lot of
bad stuff. Oh yeah,
and especially in Latin America, he did a lot of shit.
Well, they were saying like a lot of the stuff that Reagan did with drugs and ostracizing it the way he did ended up hurting more than anything. Like the war on drugs is basically lost in the last few years, they say, because all these places are like, okay, it's not that bad. I mean, like it's not going to kill you or like do these things. And so they're starting to decriminalize a lot of this.
I mean, he went to so many Latin countries and did all kind of like crazy. I mean, I remember taking a class in college and that stuff, and I was like, it was because when you go to like when high school and grade school, like you get this like. You know, you get to like 1770s, you get to like, you know, the 1800s through the thing, and you get to early, you get to World War II, that's basically as far as you get history. Yeah. Like, if you go past that in college and all this shit, you're only like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's terrible. It's seriously, you don't want to look.
Like, we're the assholes. Like,
you don't want to.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, we have fucked.
We're the assholes in the Middle East, we're the assholes here. Like, we're the assholes.
And you can wonder why, you can understand why some people, but here's the thing, we're the better of the assholes. Like, China, what China's doing, and what they've done to India, and then taking over all the whole region, and they're trying to claim all that water territory because it's so rich in minerals and assets that those poorer countries could probably really use. And China's coming in and trying to lock it up, and they're building islands, and then they're claiming those islands. So then that the water around there, they can build territory off it. It's dude. Crazy. And then you got Russia, the same thing. So we're all it's all one big fucking.
I feel like now, like, I mean, at least like in the Cold War, I felt like it was much more. Like, you look at the Cold War era, and it's like it was much more clear. Like, I think like a lot of stuff's done behind the scenes that we will never know about nowadays.
That's the thing I've been realizing is that like more and more as you hear about little things like the fucking UFO thing that they put in the bill and all these things that you don't know about.
It makes you feel like you don't want to know.
It's like, man, I feel powerless and shit.
And I also think it's because of like the way the world consumes information nowadays. Like the people are so focused on like their social media and they're not paying attention to this kind of shit anymore. They don't care. Like, they don't care about that.
But I mean, even then there was like, you know, they don't. Then it
was like a lack of information. The information was there, and now like there could be information there, but people are redirecting it for like how many whatever Kylie Jenner's doing today.
You flood the market with so much information that you can't tell anything.
You know what? It pisses me off. I'm not going to lie to you. When I'm on Snapchat and there's like the like entertainment news type stuff, and you just click through it. and then you see like the Kardashians like bought these shoes, and it's like, why in the world does anybody care what these people do? And I'm happy for them for making their money and all that, but I'm just saying, what I don't get why people are so interested in then one family and what they're doing.
You want to know why? Because it's the one thing of joy in this like shitty world for some people.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, they stick their head in the sand. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Eventually I feel people just they succumb to like how shitty it is. And they're just like, just throw on reality TV. Yeah. I'm just going to fucking watch this at night and just enjoy my life. And if you're out of sight, out of mind.
If you're deriving enjoyment from that on your life, like,
it's kind of like the one dude yesterday.
I mean, people say that about watching sports, though.
That's
like,
true,
why the fuck are you watching sports? A bunch of grown men. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just to each his own.
Yeah, looking at that, like, it just...
I mean, to me, that's just very...
You're just emptying somebody else's life a little bit. But it is... I mean, if that makes you happy...
Who knows how much that
shit... Gets you through a day,
Who knows how much their shit's really real? Like, I feel like...
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No,
I saw a funny thing about the riots. When the riots happened and they did that, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Kendall Jenner who did that Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Where is she, man? We got to send her out there. She's gonna stop this whole thing." And I thought that was funny. I thought that was a great, when the world needed her, she disappeared.
We'll end on this, but one thing that I did think was kind of just, again, people just kind of caring about other weird things too much. We were at the restaurant last night, and we're having our dinner, we're having a good time. And there's one guy come over to our table and he's like, why, masks don't work.
And
he's
fuck,
like, so
I forgot about this guy. Jesus Christ.
We're in the, I'm in the washroom and he's like, why are you wearing a mask? You don't have to wear a mask. Don't worry about it, man. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks, man. And he's like, they don't work. They don't work. Oh, okay, great. And he's like following us, like trying to convince us that masks don't work.
And he happened to be at the table next to us. So then we sit down and he's fucking berating us there too.
So the point is, like, if it's not affecting him, why would it care?
It's because it's become a political statement at this point, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, this guy looked like he was storming the Capitol.
Oh, this dude looked like he was gonna get winded.
As the FBI arrests him from the Capitol riots.
He's not making it up the wall. Fucking
dude. Oh, I saw that video. Have you seen the video of the one guy trying to climb the wall and then he falls and it's to Mario music?
No, I have not seen it tomorrow, but there's like a metal post that he kind of falls on.
He just fucking completely lets go and just goes. He literally he
got almost to the top.
Trustful.
He was so he just
so good, but it's the best.
He was like reaching, and then it looks like
and the guy's trying to grab him. He's trying to grab him, and then he turtled all the way down, and it was to Mario music. It's like doo 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 doo. I was like, oh, this is the best part of this.
That's been the best things that come out of it. The memes.
Oh, yeah. And then the best other part is all these idiots who didn't want to wear masks, Joe keeps saying is, if you were just wearing your fucking mask, you would have not gotten caught.
I saw it was a very dark joke, but it was like, this is why all your grandparents wore hoods back in the day.
Oh.
It's like all these people that did it, if you just kept your mask on, did the thing that
how true is that poor individual that got shot and killed. They're like now diving into her life. And like she has a husband, and then they have a girlfriend, and I'm not gonna lie, the girlfriend was pretty attractive, and I'm thinking and she was 27, and I think that girl was 32, and then the dude's 40, and I'm like, what?
People live very different lives.
That's what I'm saying.
I will say one.
He was like, "Where do I get on this one?" He was like, "Why wasn't my invite to the Capitol riots?"
I sent her a message. Hey, listen, if you need, I know I get it. It's tough time. If you need some help, or you need a new family, just come on over. Come on over.
A nice little tidbit out of that whole thing is to see some of the stories out of the cops, like the police officer, former military, now police officer. Possibly saved a ton of officials by basically antagonizing a very big group of people to chase him and basically lead them away.
Yes,
which is I think his last name was Green.
Yeah, the black officer. He's literally you're watching this for the first time. You're like, what the hell is this guy doing? And he
literally gets to a door like this that's open
and sees them.
And if they went that way, they would have gotten to people. He was the only person to in between them, and he just antagonized them so that they would follow him. Yeah. And he's like, "Come on, what are you gonna do?" Yeah. And it's incredible. So
that's crazy.
Even in dark moments, there are great people and great things happening, and I think that's a good way to go.
And I think that's a great way to kind of end this. We just conspiracy theoried it up, whining about how the world is going. We just had a beautiful fucking weekend.
Yeah.
We're starting another work week. We're all blessed to be working.
Healthy.
And Joe's lock of the century of the week hit again. So,
and I'm going on a limb. Kansas City's going to win 22-17 today, boys.
Solid. Look up the phrase.
Oh, yes. Wait. Hold on. This is one thing that I would love to. Do you want to talk about that cartoon, or do you want to save the cartoon that you read? Because that was a fucking awesome part of the last podcast.
We can save that for next time.
Okay.
But if you get yourself some free time this week, go on Urban Dictionary and look up the phrase Tricky Ricky. Bye!